I get a lot of guys that message me saying, hey, I don't know, I'm trying, but I'm not getting any bites. I can't get anything. I'm going to give you step-by-step instructions, exactly what you need to do. Okay, let's quickly list the equipment you're going to need. You're either going to need a small boat or a kayak. Number 2, a trolling motor to maintain speed. Number 3, a fish finder. Very important tool for finding these fish out here. Number 4, bottom bouncers and worm harnesses. That's what I use. Some guys use different baits. That's what works for me. A worm harness behind a bottom bouncer. And finally, your bait, you're going to need either minnows, worms, or plastics. So first things first, number 1, above all others, safety. Remember, we're on kayaks, we're on small inflatable boats, so make sure you have all your safety equipment, which means your safety kit, a throw rope, a flashlight, a bailing bucket, most importantly, your life jacket, and I like to wear mine at all times. Also, a phone, or even better, a marine radio if you have one. Some way of communicating if you do happen to get in trouble and let somebody know you need rescue. Another important feature of safety is dual motors. See, I have the 6-horse Suzuki, and I also got my Minn Kota trolling motor. So if my Suzuki ever failed, at least this thing could get me back to shore. Of course, we have the oars. I don't know how well I do at that. So, number 1, first thing, always safety. And the number 1 safety thing that I can honestly say is use your head. Make good judgment. That's the best thing you can do. Look at that water. If there's dark clouds rolling in, look at the Windy app. Look at the weather network. See what the weather forecast is. No fish is worth your life. Number 2, fish finder. So I went overboard here. This fish finder I spent quite a bit of money on. I did start out with the Garmin Striker series, and you know what? It works just as good. Tells you your depth, shows you where the fish are, and what we're looking for is fish on the bottom. That's what you're going to target with these bottom bouncers. Anything on that bottom. My particular fish finder has a transducer. This cable here going down and wrapped around the bottom of my trolling motor. Now the Garmin Striker that I had was a portable unit, and just a simple suction cup that I would stick in the back of the boat. They work fine too. Something I should also mention, the importance of a fish finder is also it can tell you the temperature. I've been out here many times getting skunked too early in the season. The water's too cold. There's no fish here. So start recording when you're catching fish, what temperature, make note, find the right temperature for the fish in your area. So number 3, and equally as important, is presentation. If you manage to find the fish with your fish finder, but you have the wrong presentation, you're not going to get them to bite. So the key that we need to do with the presentation, there's several factors that go in this. Number 1, speed. So what I like to run at is roughly 1.6, the very slowest, or you start getting gobies biting, up to about 2.5, but preferably 2 to 2.2 is what I like for the perch and walleye bite. And that's enough speed to get those blades turning on your worm harness. You need enough speed. If you're not going fast enough, those blades just aren't going to turn. Also, we want to be in the strike zone with our bait. Okay, once you're going at the proper trolling speed, begin letting your line down. You'll see it spool, 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 spool all the way down, and you're waiting for it to stop. At that point, you've hit the bottom, let off, then let a little more out. And you should be able to feel it ticking off the bottom through that rod. The other thing you're looking for is the 45-degree angle coming from your rod tip into the water. If you got those things all right, your presentation should be good. And lastly on your presentation, you want to make sure you have a nice, your worm harness should be like a fluorocarbon leader, maybe as much as 17 pounds kind of thing. These walleye, they have excellent eyesight, believe it or not, in this depth, and they can be line shy. So make sure you have a nice light fluorocarbon leader for these fish. So worm harnesses or walleye rigs or whatever you want to call them, they come in a variety of different colors. Generally you want a dark color on a dark cloudy day and a brighter color on a sunny day is what the experts say. They're right. My favorite color is purple though. I don't know. Purple tends to work for me. Now another feature of a good worm harness to me is you want a worm harness with a little floating device. And that just helps keep that hook and the worm just up a little higher so it's not tagging bottom ever and snagging up. It can snag up, but it really minimizes the amount of snags you're going to have. And last but not least is the bottom bouncer. General rule of thumb is you want to have a bottom bouncer that is 1 ounce for every 10 feet of depth you're fishing. So if you're fishing in 30 feet of water, you want a 3 ounce bottom bouncer. That will put your bait in the strike zone, just ticking off the bottom.